Yeah, they can.
Does that light work?
Hello and welcome to the Tantrum House Saturday morning board game show. I'm Ryan.
I'm Katie.
Kevin. And I'm Will, and today we've got our first live show of the year. Yeah, some folks back there. As usual, as you know, we're going to be running through a bunch of games today. We got some on the table, some going on. We even have some books that we're going to be talking about. We're expanding, broadening our horizons here. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We've got Larry on the switcher, so say hi to him in the comments. Do we have giveaways to do today? Or are we just talking about giveaways we're going to do in the future?
We're giving away some books.
There's going to be giveaways, so stay tuned for that. We want to talk a little bit about TantrumCon at the end. I think me and Brian are definitely going to talk about WandaVision at some point, so hang around. Kevin hasn't seen it yet. Plug your ears.
Oh no, Kevin, you should watch it.
Why are we talking about WandaVision when not all of us have seen us yet? We'll talk about it later.
Whose fault is it that we haven't seen it? Alright, so before we get into the show, I'm going to let Kevin give a shout out to our sponsor. I threw some graphics over there, Larry. I don't know if I pulled them in and made them handy, but go ahead, Kevin.
So we have 3 sponsors for the Saturday morning board game show. We have Burnt Island Games, and they have some awesome games. In the Hall of the Mountain King, Endeavor, and then we have...
And Creature Comforts is Kids Table Gaming's most recent one. I think that's what the graphics for. If
okay,
it up there.
Creature Comforts
is handy.
It's a sister company.
Sister company. Thank you, all the people.
Creature Comforts. We have Queen Games, and of course they have awesome games that they're always pulling out some cool stuff. They just did a Kickstarter for Cocopelli that Melissa and I did an overview video for, and then the Op. I thought, why not bring out Bob's Burgers?
Big classics. The new classic.
Here's the thing about Clue. We are actually going to be playing Clue during TantrumCon Digital, which we really haven't talked about yet. But TantrumCon Digital is coming soon, February 5th through the 7th. Can you tell us a little bit more what we're going to do with this Clue game?
Well, hopefully we're going to be dressed up as the characters from Bob's Burgers.
Do we get to like draw straws on what we get? Do we get to pick? What's the?
I'm just gonna assign you. You might have to wear like a pink bunny hat.
Can this be? Can this be Will?
Yeah, that could be Will. He could be the old maid. That's Bob.
Bob's the man.
Yeah.
I feel like Ryan's a Bob. I don't know.
Ryan and I have joked about the fact that he is Bob and I am Linda.
Perfect.
Well, these guys have to be that.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you've ever. I've never watched Bob's Burgers. So I'd love
you are missing out.
Let's talk about spoilers for Bob's Burgers.
I'm never gonna watch it.
Have you ever played Clue? I met somebody yesterday who had never played Clue.
What?
And I was like, where was your childhood?
How's that a thing? Wow.
Or Cluedo if you're in the UK.
Yeah, you can play that one.
Clue is a classic game. I personally grew up playing Master Detective Clue, which is a bigger board, more characters, more weapons.
That's even a thing? I missed out.
I've never played that one, man.
It's actually really fun.
Next level, way to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's like a carriage house and a courtyard, and yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I think I have seen that. Actually.
Okay.
Right, excellent stuff. Flashbacks. So thank you guys for tuning in so much. Obviously, we're here to have a bunch of fun. Hopefully, you guys can have a great time with us. I think we're probably ready to jump over to the table, check out what Jonah and Melissa are looking at. Joe, there.
Hey, here we are.
Hello.
We are looking at Rococo, the Deluxe edition that recently came out from Eagle Griffin Games, and this is a pretty game.
It is. I mean, we've played it together at least once. I think I've played it once by myself. You probably have as well.
Yep.
And I mean, it's cool. The deluxe edition has some really intricate pieces, and I think we've actually got a shot for you guys to see them if you want to jump over and look at the spools of, what are they?
Like thread and lace. And the coins are real heavy duty. I mean, the deluxe edition really came with like all the fixins, all the trimmings. It's got it. And this game has been pretty fun. I think we're gonna jump in and show you guys how to play a few rounds as well. Yeah, we can do a really quick thing. You're gonna start with a hand of 5 cards. You're gonna choose 3 of them that you wanna play for the round. And they have different attributes on them.
So on your turn, you're going to play a card. There's a thimble color in the corner, and that color is going to determine which types of actions you can play. So your gold card, your Master Tailor, can take more actions than your Apprentice, which is the kind of the bronze thimble. And basically you're trying to gather silks and different cloth, thread, lace, to then be able to tailor dresses and frocks for the people who are going to the party at the palace.
Yeah, absolutely. So on your turn, basically you play one of the cards that you have, the 3 that you've selected, down to the board. And by playing that card, you can then take an action. So for instance, again, the whole objective of the game is to kind of make these dresses and frocks. So I might take a thread with this action, particularly, that'll cost me something, that'll cost me some coins, and then on my card I'll actually get a bonus action, and that's listed on the card, and that bonus action gives me 2 coins back. So that's kind of a freebie there for my turn, but then my turn would be over and it would pass to the next player.
Yes, and some of the actions you can take are getting those resources. You can tailor the dresses, the clothing, and then you decide, do I want to sell it to get lots of money, because money's important, or am I going to take it and place it out into one of the halls? And during the game there are some bonuses that you can get for placing your things out, but at the end there is a majority scoring for having more things, and you're going to use your little token to show, hey, that's the dress that I rented to the lady who's going to the ball. So lots of majority scoring. The dresses and frocks themselves have points on them.
I like this game a lot because of the way that the scoring is laid out. So as you play the dresses down, like Melissa's saying, you put them in these like halls, these windows, and mark them with your color. And so the way that the scoring works is that whoever's got the majority in that row of windows, that hall, is going to win the majority points, which normally is like 9 or 10 or 13 or whatever. And then whoever's got the second most is going to win the second most points, which is normally like 2 or 3 or 4. And that happens for 5 different spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spots on the board. And I really enjoyed that. And then you've got all these like decorations that you can buy as well, which are going to give you just a few points, but they give you like special abilities during the game almost. At least 2 of them do. Where like you can earn more coins when you do your income, or earn more coins for having dresses. And then another cool component of the game is that just as you play the rounds, new workers, I guess, come out. New cards come out that you can buy and add to your hand. And when you do that, these cards, as they come out, round 2 and 3 and 4, they just have better abilities on them, or just more fun abilities, like they interact with the game more. And so by getting those cards and workers later on in the game, you can do more things, which gives you that feel of, you know, kind of getting your engine working almost, even though it's not like a engine type game, but it's just like, oh, okay, now I've got all these things set up in place where I can do more, and it just feels
I know
good.
in the game we played, Jonah, you got some cards that gave you money and points for having a lot of cards in your deck, and you were really able to really take advantage of those bonuses because of the way that you were staffing your hand.
An interesting thing about the game to me is that it's almost deck builder-ish, where you get cards in your hand, and you can only use 3 of them per turn. So when you run out of those cards, like, and you use these 3, I have to use the next 2 that I didn't use last time, but then you just get to pick one of the others that are already discarded. So you kind of do have to strategically plan on which cards I'm gonna use, which ones I'm not, which ones will be left over, because I'll have to use those next time. And that made it fun too. It just kind of gives it another dimension to where you need to think about.
Right, yeah, if I use this one this round, it's gonna be 2 rounds before it comes back to me as an option.
Right.
The deluxe edition also comes with some expansions, lots of extra stuff. I personally haven't played them yet, but there is a lot to dig into this game. We're actually going to be giving away a copy during Tantrum Con Digital, and as we get closer to the event, we'll have more information about our giveaways. But this will be one of the prizes.
So literally February 5 through 7, this one right here, all wrapped up, could be yours. You just got to tune in, hang out with us, play some games, and enter for a chance to win. So it's going to be fun. I think we're pretty good on Rococo, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back over to the couch with Larry, Kevin, and Katie and see what they're up to.
Welcome to the couch. We are talking about Sherlock 13 from Arcane Wonders. It's kind of funny, we were talking about Clue earlier.
Yeah.
In the show. And
similar idea.
This is Clue super light Clue. If you ever played 13 Clues, which is also a super light version, it's a light version of Clue, this is even lighter, more streamlined. So Sherlock 13, there are 13 suspects in the deck of cards, all Sherlock Holmesian themed, different names, different characters. Everyone has a piece of paper with all the names. Every character has icons on them, and they're represented by like a fist and a pipe and different icons. And you have started with 4 in a 3-player game. In other player counts, you're gonna have a different number of cards. And if you have those cards, then you know they're not the suspect. The suspect is here in the middle of the table. I randomly took that out, so we know a little bit of information, but not a lot. On your turn, what you're doing is asking one of 2 questions. You can ask investigate, and you can say, who has a character that has like a pipe? And if you have at least one character that has a pipe in your hand, then you raise your hand. You don't say how many, because you could have 2 characters that have pipes, but you don't. You just say I have like at least one character has a pipe. Or you can interrogate, and I could be like, Larry, how many characters have pipes? And then you would say, oh, I have 2 characters that have pipes. I don't know, but that could be a question. And then you're basically narrowing down the options and trying to figure out who the suspect is. Then on your turn, instead of interrogating or investigating, you can accuse and guess who that is.
So you're only asking about symbols.
You're only asking really about symbols in the game, correct?
Got
So
it.
you can ask a general question and like
for everybody,
or a specific person how many of something.
Yep.
Gotcha.
You want to try it? Katie, you
Yeah,
want to go first?
okay.
Since I haven't even put my things
Me
down
neither.
here.
I'll go first. I was
Okay.
marking mine while you were explaining it.
Yeah.
I am going to say how many people out there have eyes.
I have.
Okay.
You don't have any eyes?
Got
Larry,
no eyes. I'm
Larry
eyeless.
has no eyes.
Eyeless.
Okay. I'll go next since we're going to go clockwise. How many people out there have fists? You have fists.
I do have fists.
I do not have any fists.
Okay, Larry.
How many people have skulls?
I have no skulls.
I have skulls.
Katie has skulls.
Mm-hmm.
A skull or skulls? All right, back to you, Katie.
All right.
We're all trying to figure out what we got here.
All right. I feel like we're going too fast. I can't understand what this information is supposed to be telling me. All right.
Faster.
Does anybody have? All right. Why don't you just tell me this, Kevin?
Tell me what?
How many eyes do you have?
I have 2 eyes.
2 eyes.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
2 eyes, eh?
Yeah.
Katie, you have, or Larry, you have fists. Just what you said.
I do.
Katie didn't. Larry, how many fists do you have?
I have 2.
Do you have 2? Ooh.
Yeah.
I know who you have.
No way.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that has necklaces? Necklace.
I have no necklaces. Katie?
Do
Hold
you have
on.
necklaces, Katie?
Necklaces. I need to make sure I'm looking at the right symbol. I have no necklaces.
No necklaces.
No necklaces.
Say it isn't so.
Well, let me double check.
You should double check.
You can't be lying in this game.
I have no necklaces.
No lying in the game. It throws off the deduction.
Is it back to Katie?
Yeah, it is
Oh,
Katie.
okay. I'm gonna make an accusation.
Oh no.
Already?
I'm just gonna go for it because I
Go.
think y'all know more than me, so I'm just gonna try it. Am I out of the game if I guess wrong?
Yes, you're out of the game if you guess wrong.
You're out, Sherlock.
I think that it is Mrs. Hudson.
You get to look, and if it's Mrs.
Okay.
Hudson, you win. If not, then you lose.
She was
It
right.
is!
Right.
Ha ha
Oh
ha!
my goodness, I knew it too.
You knew it too?
Did you? I was getting close.
I did know it. I had the other 2 necklaces. She's the 3rd necklace.
Oh.
I had 1, 2, 3 options, and
3 options, and you guessed Mrs. Hudson.
well, it seemed likely.
Oh, Mrs. Hudson seemed likely?
She was the only one left on that column. That's the only reason I guessed her.
There you go.
Well,
You guys good? All right. Well, that is a quick run through. We're going to do the whole game right there.
Yeah.
Sherlock 13. Back to the table.
Hello, and Kevin's supposed to be joining me over here to talk about Polynesia from
Polynesia's from Asmodee.
one of the Asmodee companies.
Yep.
There are many. All right, so in this game, it's actually kind of an abstract strategy game. We each have our basically group of explorers, tribe that are going to be exploring islands during the game. I do have it on the 4-player side of the board.
That's okay.
But that's okay. It's the same general idea.
Yeah, we're just giving an idea. We're not playing the whole game like we just do with Sherlock 13. We're just giving you time to set up.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so
Fine, I'll hold it.
basically, you're going to be following the round tracker, which is on the top of the board, and we're going to be taking 3 actions. Then the volcano kind of explodes, and you pull tokens from the bag to see what happens. And then there's a few more steps in each round. But on your turn, you have some options of what you can do. You can explore, and that is moving, it's putting a ship down on any of the dotted spaces. Now, the cost, though, is going to be high because the round tracker board has a 3, 2, 1.
Woo.
So if I put a ship out,
Don't we start with some of these?
yes, we do.
Okay.
So if we put a ship out during the first of these rounds, it has a 3 on it. It's going to cost 3 of the same resource to do that.
Yep.
So say I want to put a ship out there, I'm going to pay 3 fish that I have, and then I put a fish on that route.
So if I decide to take that route, it's going to cost me fish. But since it's your route, it doesn't cost you anything.
Right. So it's kind of laying the cost down for that route in the future.
The other thing you could do is populate, and you can either take population from your board or from the volcano, correct?
Yes. Well, you either put 3, I believe, from your board onto the volcano, and you want to get rid of your people because they're going to be worth points if you've gotten more of them off your board. Or with populate, you can put a person, well, that's travel.
Oh, sorry, that's travel.
Yep, Kevin skipped one. He went straight to populate. Or you can put 1 from your board onto any island that you already control, but we haven't talked about travel.
Oh, let's talk about travel, Melissa.
Yes, so you can, with the travel action, take your meeples from other islands or from the volcano area and travel along the routes. These are free, and then I own this one, so I could jump right to there without any cost because I already have a ship there. If you do it in the first round, you get 3 movement points.
So that was 2 movement points to do that, and you can move another one.
Yeah.
And if I did it, I could just take 1, 2, 3, like something like that.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as the turns in the round go down, you get less movement points. So it's kind of interesting. Putting ships out is cheaper later in the round but you get fewer movement, so you're trying to decide which actions to take at which time. Because if you don't have ships down, you can't move farther.
So you're trying to get basically the goal of the game is get your people out from the volcano, and actually these initial 3 islands are not safe.
Correct.
Even though they're free, you actually have to get your people even further out, because when the volcano erupts, any people on the volcano or these 3 islands actually come back to your board. So which is basically not helping you get points. You are trying to explore the outer areas of the islands, because they're going to start giving you points and special benefits and
tokens for the first players who get to
we didn't
certain
really talk about the
areas.
resources, which are shells and fish. So I'm not sure why you're eating shells, but that's fine.
Maybe they're important in the economy.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, yeah, so you're going to go through, you're going to be exploring, moving your people. There are ways to use other people's routes, but it's expensive. Then eventually, after you take 3 turns, you pull a cube. Once you get to 6 red cubes, the game is over, the volcano explodes. There's going to be some aspects of getting rid of resources and then gaining resources based on where you have
that
people.
happens every round, because if I control an island, then I'm going to get fish and shells based on where my people are at. So it is worth spreading your people out, not just holding them up in one island.
Right, because some islands give you resources, other islands are going to give you these tokens, which are very helpful. Some are points, some are resources that you can use, but there's kind of a balance there. And there's a little bit, I don't know if I would call it a take that aspect.
It's definitely a Jonah game, though. He would like this game.
There's the start player, when we get to a certain part in the round, is going to choose one of the 2 resources, fish or shells, and everyone has to discard all of that resource.
Trash them. They're gone.
Right. Now that happens before you then gain your resources. So if I see that Kevin has a bunch of fish and I don't, I can say discard all your fish.
Yeah, which could be really bad. I will say, like Melissa said, there is a theme here, I will say, but it feels like an abstract strategy game. The artwork is, like, the box art's cool, the resource tokens are fun, the board is fun, but I would say the gameplay just feels like, oh, I'm just moving things and getting, like...
Yeah, I mean, it is more abstract strategy. It's maybe about half an hour-ish. It
says 75 minutes, but I would say it's closer to...
That's probably with 4 players.
Yeah, 4 players. I would say in a two-player game, you can get it down to 20 to 30 minutes, but a 4-player might be a little bit longer.
Yeah, the end of the game is triggered by the cube, so it could go a little longer. There are a couple different types of colored cubes in the box. All right, I think we're ready to go back to the couch.
Hey, welcome back to the couch. We are going to talk about Sweet Existence, which is a Strange Planet card game.
Yes.
So if you're familiar with the Strange Planet kind of, I guess, comic.
It's a comic.
Yeah.
I was going to say, they're all sorts of memes.
They're
and
all
stuff
sorts
now.
of stuff right now. But if you're familiar with it, this game's probably right down your alley. The games that play is actually pretty simple. So in the game, we are given these connection squares, and that basically is going to determine what team you're on. So I've got a connection square that says being seeking being, and I enjoy tender narratives. And I think Katie and I are actually on the same team.
Yes, we have the same card, so we are on a team against Larry.
Oh,
but
no.
that could change very easily depending on what cards get played.
Yep. Then we also have 3 existent squares apiece, and to start the game, you actually get to look at all 3 of them. But this is the only time that you actually get to look at them. What you're looking for basically is one of the existent squares that says perish. If you have that existent square, you kind of want to keep that hidden, and you don't ever want to have that square turned over, because then your team, that triggers game end, and then it's whichever team has the most sweet existence cookies in front of them. Sweet discs. Yep. That's how the game's going to play. So basically on everyone's turn, now that we've all looked, you get to draw a pink action square and kind of do what it says.
Here's what I got. This is one that you play on somebody else, and all of them have like little pieces of the cartoons on them, so they've got little funny things. I will play one on Larry.
Don't do it.
And basically, when he gets 2 cards played on him, he'll have to flip over one of his squares. Now, hopefully, he's remembered that his squares are either all fine or he has the one that you don't want, he
Right.
would probably choose a different one.
Right. So basically, bluish cards you give to other players. If they ever have two, they have to flip over an existing square. Pink cards, like Larry just drew, are actions, and you gotta do what they say.
Expose one
Well,
of
you choose that on somebody else, or you could do your own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
this one.
You can put it on other people.
Ha!
Me
Yeah.
expose one of my existing squares
Expose it.
I think he has to play that on himself.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
on himself.
Because it's
One of
pink.
yours, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Oh,
I was happy. No,
Perfect.
Sad.
And this can discard it, and then I'll go.
okay. And
Ho
we're
ho 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 ho!
Uh-oh.
Every being has to transfer an existent square to the right.
okay.
Can I transfer this?
No, it has to be one of the face down ones.
Nope, one of the face down ones.
Ah, come
I'm
on.
gonna give you this one.
What happens if there is no parish?
And you don't get to look at it, so I don't know what I've been given.
Yeah, you only get to look at your existent squares one time. There
Okay.
is a parish.
There is a parish.
Yep.
For
All right.
sure.
So what is
Your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. So let's see. All right. Swap one existent square between any two beings. I'll do. I don't know.
Don't
'Cause
do
it's
it.
Scary.
Don't
It
do
is
it.
tough.
Don't do
I'm gonna
it.
do these.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Uh-oh.
We're on the same team though, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Rearrange another being's existent squares.
Oh no.
Who would have memorized what they got?
Well, not me. I got 2 new ones. Oh, I guess Jonah has the same. But basically, it
Good
kind
luck.
of goes through this, and we talked about this before we started. Is that it'd be really fun to play these with actual sweet discs, and then just eat the ones you get at the end. Oh no! And the
totally
more players you
confused already.
have, the more confusing this becomes trying
Yeah.
to keep track of everything.
The cool part about this game is that all of the cards,
Right.
basically every single one has like
Parish.
some sort of comment
Nope.
or meme on it or whatever you
Yes.
want to call it. And so if you like the Strange Planet comics, you're gonna love this game.
Take a sweet disc from someone else.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
But we're still winning because we have a combined total higher than yours, and we're
maybe.
still on the
Look at
same
that.
team.
2 of them. Flip one.
Uh oh.
Whew.
There we go. So
Your turn.
unless
If we flip one more of his, we're gonna win automatically because we're still on the
it's my
same
turn.
team.
What? Say it isn't so.
expose one of your existent squares.
Yeah.
This is
Parish.
this
Parish.
is hard because
Parish,
I don't
parish.
know what these are. Nope. I'm okay.
Ah.
I'm okay.
Come on. Survived. What is? Oh,
You would.
I
One more for
did.
you.
Oh no.
One of my favorite of this comic is the one about cleaning your house before guests come, because it talks about hiding all of your things. So people come over and they're like, "Oh, your dwelling is beautiful," and they said, "Thank you. We own things, but we've hidden them." And I'm like, I feel that strongly in my soul. All right, there you go, Larry.
Oh,
Flip it.
boo.
But it's not the parish one, so.
You keep going.
Oh
going.
man!
Keep going.
So my only chance then for winning is
have
to
to
get
swap
rid
it.
of him because I
Right.
feel like you're an anchor.
Get rid of me.
Well, I mean, I think he probably has the parish square.
Oh, gave you the blue.
Gave me.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see. Rearrange another being's existent squares.
You should
I don't
rearrange
know what any
mine.
of them are,
There.
but I also haven't had to flip any, so I'm doing great.
True. Transfer an existing square to the left. Everyone.
Oh.
If it's face up, it doesn't move.
So just Jonah and I.
Oh,
Great. I probably
man.
got the one that's parish.
Parish. Parish.
Swap existent squares.
Again. Hope you
Okay.
remember which card.
And
I mean,
basically.
one of us has it, and then. But I think we'll still win.
No, if you
No.
the whole team is out.
The
Your
whole team is out.
Yes.
Are you
Your whole,
serious?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Win.
Our only chance for either of
We
us
need
to
to
win
get out.
is to
Winner.
get off the same team.
Winner.
We gotta get off
Flip
the same
your
team.
card. Flip your card.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, give it to yourself.
So technically, it's a four player minimum game.
Yeah. So anyway,
Still alive.
But that's basically how the game goes. And like we said, if you are a fan of the Strange Planet, I want to call it a comic. Maybe it is. As I say, I always just see it as little bits and pieces. But definitely check out Sweet Existence. And we are ready with Kevin and Melissa back over at the table.
I won.
I don't know. I think there's something going down over
A
there.
little strange over there on the couch.
Little strange. Melissa and I are talking about Cosmos adventure games. You might already be familiar with their Exit series. Their adventure game series is similar in some ways. It has the same size box, and you're more going through a story.
Yeah, it's not an escape room.
Not escape room, but there's been 2 out already, the Monochrome Inc. and the Dungeon. This is Volcanic Island, which is kind of funny.
A volcano theme going on over here.
Because over here at the table we had Polynesia with a volcano. I know someone was mentioning in the chat that they were interested in Pompeii. Maybe throwing meeples in the volcano. So yeah, you need to get that for your wife, Kristen, definitely. This is the Volcanic Island from Cosmos. It plays 1 to 4 players, and Melissa's going to explain a little bit about the. We're not going to give anything too much away, just the overall idea.
Right. So basically, you are playing through a story. There are 4 characters, and no matter how many players you have, you're going to use all 4 characters. And they each have a trait, kind of something that they're good at. Jerome is a mechanical engineering major. These are college students who are on a kind of summer internship.
Yep.
It's 1989.
1989.
And they're at a island that has a volcano on it.
Really?
Yes. Wow. And basically, you're gonna read through the rules. There's some things about how your players can move and interact and all of that. And then the game is gonna have an entry that you read to begin with.
But there is an app that you can download, and it will read you the story like an audiobook in a way.
Right.
And you can actually type in, Melissa hasn't talked about this, but you're gonna start typing in numbers, and you type in the numbers, and we'll read that part of the story as well.
Right. So there's also a large booklet somewhere.
Melissa, I don't know what you did with the large booklet.
What did I do with the large
It's okay.
booklet?
It's right
here it is. So all of the entries are also in this booklet.
But
when we played, we used the audio thing, but I liked to read along because I do better actually seeing the words than hearing them. So, but basically you're going to, it's going to set up the story, it's going to tell you flip over card A and such, and so you're going to set up according to what the book tells you, and then your characters can go interact with certain spots. So I'm like, oh, the mechanical engineering dude, maybe he'll go look at the car.
Right, and he's going to read entry 202 or in the app or whatever, and read what it has. Sometimes it'll reveal new information, things like that. So
yeah, and sometimes it'll say which character is doing this action, and so you pick, and the results will be different depending on if you sent Ayana, who's into botany, or if you sent the mechanical engineering.
So there's a
or
little bit of
forensics.
choose your own adventure idea going on, and you're going to be exploring the story. There's definitely a mystery involved. I would say we've played all 3. This one felt definitely there's a lot more like choices that you're making throughout the game and branching out, and even at the end you're like, which way do you want to go and who do you want to help? And it really felt like
there was at least 2 majorly different branches for the ending of the story, and then I think even within those branches, depending on what you do, what items you collect, who you talk to, you're gonna get different results of how well it went for you. So the story's the same every time. You could potentially replay it.
I think you could play this one and replay it, get a little bit. I feel like it would be a little different because of the end. The other 2, I would say they were one-time plays.
Right. So I believe this one is in 3 or 4 chapters. Most of the chapters play in about an hour. One of the middle ones, they said it might be closer to 2 hours.
Yeah, this one was the longest of the 3 that we played, definitely.
But yeah, basically, it's the story driven. You're making choices, you're exploring things based on your choices. It's gonna lock up some stuff. You can never go there, or it's gonna give you different results depending on when you research it or with whom you use to research it. So if you like story driven games, if you have the time, we did it in a few sessions, so it wasn't like 4 or 5 hours all at once. We take notes. You're gonna collect things, like here's a dog's bandana and a bag of beef jerky, and then you decide, oh, how should I use this item and connect it to something else? Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But that is Adventure Games, the Volcanic Island. Do recommend it if you like story-driven, kind of mystery-ish games. So are we ready over at the couch?
Sure.
Alright,
Yeah.
fall back over.
Just getting our money and our gin together.
All right. So we're looking at the game Prisoner's Dilemma from Eagle Griffin Games.
Gangsters.
Gangster. Oh, yes. It is Gangster's Dilemma. It's based on the Prisoner's Dilemma concept, where in the game, but you should say the name of the game, I agree.
Yeah.
I should say the name of the game. In the game, we are gangsters who are trying to...
I'm the police.
He's going to be the police for this round, yeah. We're trying to rob specific locations because our mob bosses have some specific demands that we're going to try to get for them. So we might be trying to get some paintings or some loot or some diamonds. We start with a little bit of money and a little bit of gin. And in the game, what we're going to do on our turn is we're going to secretly pick one of these locations to go to. And we'll pick that card out. It might go like, sure. I don't even know what color. What card will it be? Pick our cards. And once everybody's got selected, we'd reveal, and then we'll send our... Oh, no.
Why aren't we going to the
Did
same
you also pick
place?
3? Whew.
I went to 2.
Oh, at least the police.
Oh, man.
If we ended up going to the same location as the copper, we would then, if both of us did, then Larry and I would take one of these little token guys right here, and we would have a little Prisoner's Dilemma opportunity where we can either bribe the copper to just get away quietly and take our diamond, assuming that Jonah had gone here. Or Larry and I can decide, are we going to talk? Are we going to blab about the other guy? And if we do, then we get away with it. The other guy loses his stuff. If we both are quiet, then we both get away with our gear. If we both talk, we both go to jail, basically. So you've got that Prisoner's Dilemma mechanic in there. And
Oh, you have to pick a side.
you shush or
You guys
you
went
talk.
for the diamonds?
We did.
Yeah, we went for
I
the
should've known.
diamonds.
You should have known. So we would both get to collect a diamond.
Yes.
And then any locations that don't get visited for the next round, get some dollars added to them. That way, in the future,
You get dollars and items.
yeah, that way in the future, certain spaces on the board get more valuable and more desiresome to go to. If the copper goes and visits and arrests you, it also narrows down some of the places that you can go to in future rounds. And then the cool part is, Jonah doesn't stay the copper.
Oh, your turn.
Oh.
I guess I'm an
Whoa.
undercover mobster.
Now I
gangster.
have to collect?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now you get to pick where you go. And the beauty of being the police is that you get any of the gear that if you bust people, they have to give you all of the
Everything?
Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean,
That's why I
it's
was trying to
awesome.
bust you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so here's
this
what we got.
game
Let's
is.
see.
I'm gonna shuffle my cards so you
one
don't
away.
know.
Randomly pick one.
Randomly? No!
Oh,
Yeah.
got him!
All
Got him!
Yeah, so he would give me his loot. I'm way closer now
Oh,
to...
feels bad,
Well, actually,
man.
I don't think I get your money. Your money's always safe.
Oh, money saved.
But obviously, I'm trying to collect enough stuff that I can get one of these bosses, and then as soon as you're able to achieve it, as soon as I think you resolve a location, if you have enough stuff, you can take the card immediately. And then you're getting the points at the top. First player to get 21 points wins the game and walks away as the Gangsta champion. And then
the OG, if you will.
yeah. And I've actually seen, if you pull off a good police move, that's the best way to win this game. So
Yeah.
figuring out where
So
everybody else
can't
is
see where
going,
they're going,
hoping
yeah.
to narrow down some spots, deciphering, there's a bunch of money there. Somebody probably wants to go there. I think you can also, spend, it's either
take the
money
money.
or loot. It must be money. I think you can spend $4 or something to equal an item.
Anyone?
So at least this stuff your money doesn't get stolen. But in addition to all that, there's really cool character powers, really beautiful art on all those. I think you can play up to 6, 7.
I think 7.
7 players. You've got little helpful guides and stuff. So it's a pretty full package. If you like the Prisoner's Dilemma concept, which I've seen implemented in some other games, this one does a great job of fleshing it out. And it's beautiful.
Yes. This is the second Eagle Griffin game we've talked about. The
Today?
first one was Rococo,
Oh, man.
and I really enjoyed that one. And this one, I have not actually played a full game. I need to get all 7 people, I feel like.
Right.
Because then, when you're the cop, you're like, here it comes. I'm getting somebody. But I haven't actually done that yet, so this one looks pretty good. And like you said, I like the player powers. Those look pretty good, cool, and the art looked great.
Yep. This is a sharp one. So pretty simple concept, easy to jump into, lots of fun to play, especially when you get those big loot hauls and you walk away with that satisfaction.
Pretty sure I'm winning again.
Are you? I just stole some stuff. I don't know. Excellent. All right, I think we're ready back at the table.
Hello.
Hi. Speaking of Eagle Griffin games.
What?
Yeah, here we have another one. This is Stolen Paintings. This is a game about it's kind of memory. It's about visual memory. The idea is you have an art gallery here, a museum showing these famous paintings, and what you'll have is just for this timer amount of time to look at them. We've had them out for a while, so we know what these are.
I haven't actually been
You
looking.
haven't been looking? Okay. Well, I'll be the thief this time. So one person will be the thief. Ideally, you'd play this with more than just 2 players, but you'll have, so it's like 30 seconds to look at the paintings, and then the art thief is going to take...
Why don't we just do it?
We could.
It's so simple. Why don't we just do it? So Katie is going to be the art thief.
All
So
right.
you're going to flip it. I have 30 seconds to try to memorize these paintings.
So she's going to be looking at these. These are all actual paintings by famous artists.
Which we found that Katie and Sarah, being art majors, really have an advantage.
Yes.
Because they actually know a lot of these paintings.
We do. We know a lot of the artists and specific painting names and what periods they come from and that sort of thing. It makes it a little easier for us. So that is time, Melissa.
All right.
So stop looking.
So I have to close my eyes.
So then I will choose maybe 1 or 2.
1, 2, or 3 paintings.
3 to take and try to say, okay, maybe she'll have forgotten this one. And then hopefully I will fool her when I take it to an art auction. So I will just gather these up, discard the extras, and then I'll take some new ones and I will intersperse the ones that I've chosen with the new ones. Making up 8, and I think this may be very easy because I don't get to choose which ones go to auction.
Yeah, you don't know which ones are going to get added into the mix.
Yes. So sometimes it's a very easy thing to look at and you're like, oh yeah, I got that. And then sometimes you're looking at paintings that look pretty similar. Like there's 3 or 4 paintings of that are just of Napoleon, and so sometimes it's like, oh, okay, I'm not sure which one I'm looking at here. All right, so you'll number them, and then she will be able to look at them now.
All right.
And make notes.
Yes, I have a little pad that I can say, on camera. Probably you all watching are like, oh, that's so easy. It's this one, this one. So I don't know if it was 1, 2, or 3. I get more points if I get all of them correct.
Yes.
I get negative points if I choose incorrectly. So I'm going to... I should have looked more. I should have looked more. How many did Katie steal? So usually you have multiple players, so we're all going to do this simultaneously and then finally reveal. I'm saying it's 5 and 8.
Okay, so 5 is correct, but I also stole 2 and 6. So 8 was not one of the ones I stole.
All right, so there's a way to score points. Katie would get points for each painting that wasn't...
That I was able to slip through in the art auction.
So you would get 2, and then each player, depending, so
yes,
you would get points. So you would get 2 points. I would get a point for doing 1, but then I think I would lose some points.
You'd lose 1 point for taking it, for guessing wrong. So that is the basic gameplay. It actually comes with a lot of different modes for playing, including some games that are actually meant for teaching about the art, which I think is really interesting. They also have some like challenging modes, which Sarah and I would probably have to play because it like reintroduces paintings you've already seen, so it can be confusing from round to round to which ones were actually out there. They have a list of all of the artists including the artist, when they painted the painting, and the title of the painting. So it definitely can be used for teaching a lot of art history. And they have, I didn't even count how many different modes they have for doing it. They have one that I think sounds really interesting. It's for art and music lovers, where you pull out paintings that you've chosen and you have one of them that's your favorite, and you get everybody to guess what your favorite is based on what you say about it, and you can give them information about a song that might give them a hint as to what your favorite painting is.
Ah, interesting. So definitely a wide variety of different types of ways to use these cards.
And there's even some solo variants as well. So yes, there are a lot of different ways to use this card. That was the main and basic way, but very interesting. Like I said, as a person who enjoys art history, I enjoy just looking through them and seeing if I can recall my art history days and go, oh man, who painted this? What's the name of this painting? So it's fun.
All right, that's Stolen Paintings from Eagle Griffin Games, and now we're going to the couch.
Hey, we are looking at some of the Aconyte books. This is a division of Asmodee Entertainment, so they're all imprints of the different IPs that they have there. So I specifically read a book that's set in the Keyforge universe. Some of the short stories from that, but there's short stories from all sorts of their games. We've got Descent,
Twilight Imperium.
Very cool.
And I was able to read a book from the Legend of the Five Rings universe, and this is called Poison River, and this one specifically was a mystery novel.
Oh, cool.
So there actually is another Legend of the Five Rings, and I think it's probably just a fantasy novel. Like, this was specifically a mystery. So yours was short stories.
Yeah, with Keyforge, the universe there's this crucible where like several different worlds have all just been sort of smashed together. So you've got elves and demons and Martians and just all sorts of various races, and they're all fighting, trying to get these keys. So it doesn't seem like it would work, but when you get it, to me at least, when you got into the short stories, it was really interesting. And the two short stories that I specifically focused on, they both had a really interesting twist to them that I enjoyed a lot. And the one was just very fast paced, and I was surprised when it was over. I was like, oh wow, that was quick. But I mean, short stories, you read them fast. They're easier for me because, bite size, you just keep eating them.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to read one. So I did read this one, and I would say it's a good mystery. Josh Reynolds is the writer, and if you're not familiar with Legend of the Five Rings, there are these clans. It has sort of the Dragon Clan, the Unicorn Clan, the Crane Clan. There's different clans, and Shin is sort of the detective in this book, and he's trying to figure out what happened, and I'm not really going to give too much away. I don't want to give anything away, but he's trying to figure out who the bad guys are and what's happening with these clans. Are they, is there going to be a war going on and things like that? I would say the writing style was fine. It was easy reading. There were a couple times in the book I came across a couple words. Can you even say that word, Ryan?
Obstreperousness. I don't think I got that right.
So, and there was like 3 words in the whole book. I was like, those words are not like normal easy reading words.
Yeah.
So I had to look up a couple words in the game. So it sort of like took me away from the story a little bit. So to be honest, as if I was reviewing this, there were a few words I was like, oh, that didn't like fit in what's going on in the story. So
yeah, the 2 stories that I read, it was like the first and the second to last. I was kind of surprised, but the twists were different enough. But then I realized they both had some slight similarities, totally different authors. So that was pretty interesting. to me. I don't know if that'll take away from your enjoyment. It didn't take away from mine. One of the things I thought was really interesting was when you play Keyforge, you're taking on the role of like an Archon, I guess is what they're called, and you have these forces at your disposal. Like I'm Melazin, Cooper of the Bold Shelter. That's the deck that I have. But in this, the Archons are actually characters, and there's some conflict. I was like, are they saying that you could like have one of the characters from the game kill a player? I don't know. That was like, what is going to happen here? It's just interesting.
So what we're going to do, we said we were going to give a couple books away, and what we're going to do is in the chat at the end of today's show, which is just in a couple minutes because we just have one more game to talk about, so stick around with us. We will give away 2 books, and what we're going to do is choose 2 winners, and you get to choose what book you would like for us to send you. So we have all these different IPs, and the 2 winners, you get to choose what book you want. So I thought we would keep it as general as possible.
Oh, yeah.
So it's up to you. So anyway, these books from Aconyte, Division of Asmodee, they're going to be coming out with a lot more. As you can see, there is a bunch. So
yeah, and it looks like they've gotten some really good writers.
Over to the table.
And welcome back. I think this is our very last game that we're going to be talking about this morning here on our Saturday morning board game show. So this game is actually a Kickstarter game. It came to Kickstarter yesterday. It is live right now. It is called Fearless Franco from Die Bad Die Games, I think, if I'm saying that correctly. Anyway, this game is sponsored, so we wanted to talk about it just a little bit and let you guys know that up front, but we want to show you how it played, so if you're interested in it, you can jump over to their Kickstarter page and give it a look. So, realistically in this game, it's more of a simulation, really, than it is a game. In this game, you've got 4 main characters or roles. You've got Fearless Franco, which is like a evil Knievel type guy. And then we've got his girlfriend, we've got a doctor, we've got a mechanic. And in the game, what we're trying to do is basically go throughout Franco's life of him doing tricks, and either he retires peacefully because he makes it, or he breaks a bunch of bones and he doesn't retire peacefully and he's out and he's gone. So we're going to kind of go through it as you start. So basically we've got a whole bank of money here, and we all get to start with a particular amount of money just depending on what character you are. So I guess I'll let you be Franco's girlfriend and I'll be Franco. Let's do it like that. All right, so we start with a little bit of money, and basically what you're going to do is you've got these cards that you start with and some cards that you're going to get throughout the game, but basically every round of the game you're doing like an event, a stunt. Now, Franco gets hurt or dies or breaks his car all sorts of different ways. So basically, if Franco's in his right mind, he's got 2 injuries or less, then Franco gets to decide kind of what event he's going to do. But after he's got 2 or more injuries, then the girlfriend gets to decide, okay? If he gets 9 total injuries, I think, then he's out, he retires, not peacefully, he actually dies, he goes to the hospital,
poor
Oh,
he's gone.
Franco.
Right, poor Franco. If he's got more than 4 injuries to the torso or the head, same result. But if you can manage the injuries and get him through these stunts, he's going to be able to retire peacefully. So you're basically working through like a timeline on the board. It's got 10 years and 4 seasons each year, so it's about 40 total turns that you're going to play. And a cool aspect of the game actually is when you do these stunts, they have this stunt board over here, and it kind of tells you based on the cards how far away you've got to be from this stunt board. And then you've got these, depending on what he's using, whether it's his motorcycle or his car or his jet ship, whatever that is, right? You slide them up this ramp and try to land them over there. And depending on if that landed face up or face down, depends on the results and where you got it on your...
Bad, terrible.
Yeah, I'm in the bad, terrible, and upside down, which I think immediately means it goes worse. It's like all the way in terrible because it's upside down. And we would not make it very far. He would be pretty hurt.
So there's a dexterity aspect to the game.
There's a dexterity aspect to the game, right. And then basically, depending on who's playing the doctor, depends on what cards they have, if they can fix him or help him. Whoever's playing the mechanic decides if they can fix the car, whatever. The girlfriend's basically making all the decisions once Franco is hurt, and Franco's just basically trying to make it out alive.
So is this cooperative or competitive?
It is cooperative.
Okay.
It is all working together to basically just play through Fearless Franco's life and see if you can make it to the end.
So I noticed some dice and some places, so that has aspects.
So like for instance, we'll use the mechanic here. The mechanic has the cards. We don't have any of them out, but here's one that says, so you can install a second car lift, and more equipment means more can be done, and the mechanic increases his hand limit by 1. So you're going to have these cards that basically allow you, based on what you roll as well, to what you can upgrade. Like a 6 for this particular card would upgrade his roll cage, so that means he's going to get less injury depending on if the car lands right side up or upside down. So each character has their own type of like build to what they're trying to accomplish and what I'm even can do or allowed to do.
So it's kind of asymmetric for the different characters.
Asymmetric for the different characters while you're all cooperatively working together within 10 years, 4 seasons a turn, 40 turns to get Franco to the end so he can retire peacefully. So, like I was mentioning, this is on Kickstarter right now. I think it started yesterday, January 15th. Fearless Franco. It is, we were able to, so Chantel and I, who you guys didn't see today, we'll have to get her out here, but we were able to play through this, and it was pretty funny. Just kind of going through it and realizing how hard it was to slide these guys up and get them to actually land on this board, and it was all sorts of fun. So Fearless Franco, if you're interested in that, check it out right now on Kickstarter, and I think we're gonna head right back over to the couch maybe and do some giveaways.
You got it. Giveaway time. So we said we picked 2 winners, so we have just picked those winners. Drum roll, please. There we go. And the 2 winners for the book giveaways are Mandy Johnson, congratulations, and Jeff Harned, congratulations to both of you. You can pick one of these books. If you both pick the same book, we're gonna have to do like a thumb wrestling contest or something like that. We're not sure, but there's a lot of books to choose from here. So each pick a book, and we have.
Can we get this
first and second choice?
Can we get this shot so they can see the covers?
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Sorry.
okay, we'll just show them real quick. It's okay, we'll just show them. We have Descent, The Doom of Fallowhearth. We have The Legend of the Five Rings, Curse of Honor. The one I was talking about, The Poison River Mystery.
Also Legends of the Five Rings.
We have Wrath of Nakai, and which is actually by the same author, Josh Reynolds. So,
yeah. Another Arkham Horror, The Last Ritual, just like Wrath of Nakai is Arkham Horror. The Fractured Void, which is set in Twilight Imperium. And then
the one you talked about.
Keyforge's Tales from the Crucible.
Which are short stories.
Yeah, a collection of short stories. I think there's 8 or 9 in here. Pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. So maybe you would too.
So Mandy Johnson and Jeff Harney, what you need to do is email your first and second choices, just in case you guys overlap. And you can email Sarah at tantrumhouse.com, SARA at tantrumhouse.com with your choices. And congratulations, and make sure you email her your mailing address too so we can get you the books. So that's great. Melissa, you gonna join us? She's just standing there on the edge there. Don't get too far to the edge because then he can't see you, Ryan.
Oh, sorry.
Disappearing Ryan.
Disappearing Ryan. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Saturday morning board game show.
Are we going to talk a little bit about Tantrum Con Digital?
Let's do
and
the schedule?
Some of the schedules, things that people can look forward to.
I had that up, definitely. So February 5th, 6th, and 7th, and of course it went away because I was looking at other things on my phone. So
Kevin was prepared, but now
prepared.
not prepared.
Technology.
Jonah's
going to join us. So the con starts that Friday, February 5th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So all the times we talk about are Eastern Time because we live in South Carolina. And the show sort of starts off with a game, Trivial Kahoot. So definitely join us for that. We've got some interviews with Jamie from Stonemaier Games. We're going to be playing games like Blank Slate and Herd Mentality and Monstrosity, Ryan's favorite game.
Monstrosity?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I enjoyed describing it.
It was on Katie's top 10, so she really enjoyed it.
And definitely join us that evening, Friday evening, because Ryan will lead us through, or lead a few of us through, the Role Player Adventures game. So looking forward to that, which is still the prototype, correct?
Yeah, still the prototype.
And that's something, go for it, Jonah.
I was just going to say, one of my favorite parts of Tantrum Con and having you guys join us is all of the stuff we're going to be giving away. So we talked today about giving away Rococo Deluxe, and that's a awesome game. I mean, that's huge, big. That's a really fun one. But we have so many giveaways planned for TantrumCon. So right now we're running a contest basically for table flipping. So if you're interested,
now's the time.
Put a game on your table, maybe your favorite, maybe not your favorite, and flip that table, and then send us the video.
Favorite table or your favorite game?
Favorite table, least favorite game.
Okay.
Or maybe least favorite table.
I was gonna say.
You know, whatever you want to do. But flip it over and send it to us, because we're going to put together a compilation video of all those and show them and have some fun with it. We've got some really cool entries so far, but we're also giving away $500 worth of cash and prizes.
To a first, second, and third place winner.
To a first and second and third place winner for that table flip. So that's awesome. Then we've got all sorts of other giveaways as we go through TantrumCon.
Almost every hour.
So much stuff.
It's crazy.
So we got to make sure you mark it off on your calendar and come join us. We're going to be doing a live Zoom audience as well during TantrumCon. So there's going to be some side games and side giveaways and stuff like that.
Secret stuff
while we're going on. It's just going to be fun.
Are you the Zoom master?
I am going to be your host with the most.
Oh.
The Zoom master. I am.
Nice.
Gonna do it.
I believe there's also a Pandasaurus giveaway that people can sign up for right now. I don't remember all the details.
What they need to do is definitely share some of our social media with the hashtag TantrumCon20, TantrumCon 2021 or TantrumCon Digital.
2021.
All right, just TantrumCon 2021, and then that's how we can find you. So we're gonna just find all the people that hashtag that, and then we're gonna pick a winner.
And we'd like you to share the link to the event or the
I think that
website,
Pandasaurus
something like that.
Big Bundle's got Gods Love Dinosaurs, Sonora,
Godspeed,
Ohanami.
It's a lot of games.
It's a big bundle.
Bunch of stuff in there too. So we're gonna give that away just for telling other people that we're gonna be playing games on February 5th through 7th. So just use our hashtag.
We just want the word to spread. So that's what
use
we
our
want.
hashtag and you might win.
The other thing that I did want to mention real quick is a lot of publishers are like, we want to be involved in other ways. So they said, can we demo games online, sort of like after hours and before hours and things like that. So we have quite a few publishers who have opted in to show games on Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia and sort of digital platforms. Some new games. Bezier's got Maglev Metro, which is coming out soon. So you can sort of check these games out and sign up for a spot to actually play. Umbra Via, which is a new game from Pandasaurus, Ragnarok's, Into Deep, In the Hall of the Mountain King, some older games. I should say older, it's not that old, but...
already available games.
Gray Fox Games has been advertising their Last Light from Roy Cannaday, and you can sign up to play that with Roy. I think he's the designer of the game. He's going to do it. So anyway, I'm trying to think if there's any... AEG's got a quick game called Sheepy Time, so...
Sheepy Time instead of Sleepy Time.
Got it. So, I also see that Bezier is going to be doing demos of their new collector's edition of Castles of Mad King Ludwig, so you can check out those new expansions that they have. So anyway, lots of cool new stuff that you can check out.
And we will have signups on our website shortly for those publisher demos.
Because you're gonna have to sign up to actually get a spot, because they only have their limited spots. So we'll send that out in our newsletter and send that out through our website and social media stuff, through the actual schedule, so you can see everything that's going on. Whew.
It's a lot. We're excited. Hope you're excited.
Yes, that's only a couple weeks away.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're saying goodbye. Thank you for watching, and check us out February 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Say words. Say words.
Okay, so I'm still talking. No audio?
Failure.
No audio? What?
The whole time we talked about all these amazing secrets. All right, that was your cue. You had plenty of time to leave if you didn't want the spoilers for
spoiler alert.
WandaVision.
We are talking about WandaVision. We both, in our own homes, decided of our own accord to watch WandaVision last night.
Did the captions work? That would have been great. Probably not.
No, I think it has to pick up audio to do that.
Sorry, everybody else abandoned the room and then just ran away.
Yeah, everybody who...
We're talking about WandaVision.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging around.
So you may have caught up with some things if you can read lips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we both watched both episodes.
Let me backtrack 1 second and re-say something I said a second ago. If you're still here hanging out, it looks like we still got 30 people watching. If you don't listen to our podcast, you should. At the end of our podcast, we typically pick a show. We talked all through Mandalorian, episode by episode. We were doing Cobra Kai. Last night, I'm laying in bed, and I flipped it, and I'm like, whoa, what is this WandaVision? I didn't know it launched today. So Sarah and I watched it. Ryan and Katie also watched it. We got together today and we were like, oh, we gotta talk about this. There's no way to not talk about the craziness of WandaVision.
Well, it's just like, what is even going on? Katie was talking and she's like, is this like all in her mind?
Right?
Or is someone controlling her? Is this like a coping mechanism with like her magic? She's making this happen somehow? And it's just so many theories. I just, as a side thing, I've played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I believe that's what it's called, and the second one, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I haven't played the third one, which just came out for Switch or
which
whatever.
is great. Played it, loved it.
Want to try it. But anyway, in that, there's a character, I think his name is called Wonder Man, and he's supposed to be Wanda and Vision's kid, I believe. And I'm like, is that what this show's about? Like, is this leading up to their having a kid? Like,
I mean, it did. It ended with...
They hinted a lot about, like, kids. Like,
right.
the first episode, they're like, are you going to have kids? And then the second one, the people keep repeating, for the children. Because they're doing this...
keep your ears plugged.
They're doing a fundraiser for the children. And then at the end...
This is a spoiler. Run, Kevin, run!
At the end, it looks like, maybe they are going to have a child. And just like, how does
it look like it? She's
how is this even happening? Well,
yeah.
like, is this even real?
Well, what happened is they slid the two beds together, Ryan.
Oh, that's how it works. So, yeah. So I'm like, how much of this is real? How much of this is just in her head? Because I thought it was all being done to her. And then in the second episode, she's like, no. Rewinds and has
control over it.
So she clearly has control. But there's like hints that it might be Hydra or it might be S.H.I.E.L.D. or Stark Industries or something.
Tell me what you think about the fact that he is the Mind Stone guy, right?
Yeah.
So is this all just in like her mind? That was my assumption.
I don't know. It might be. It's so confusing.
I love it. Did you watch the preview or whatever, the commercial for it?
A while back, yeah.
So I watched it afterwards, which I'm glad I did because it kind of gives away what's going on in the show a little bit. It doesn't tell you everything.
Yeah,
but it definitely looks like they're proceeding through the decades, and then at the end of that commercial or whatever, she's like, "We've got to. If this is our world, we have to protect it or whatever." So I think it's going on in somebody's mind. Is my
You think
theory.
it's going on in her mind?
Either like the Mind Stone,
or she's trapped in the Mind Stone.
Something like
Someone is trying to communicate to her and saying like, "Wanda, who's doing this to you?"
Right.
Why y'all are talking about me?
Where's Sarah?
Wanda,
is she coming too?
Who's doing this to you? But it's kind of like, it seems like she might be doing it to herself because she rewound and restarted that one segment.
She said no.
Right.
And she went back to a happy
The weird thing is that like it was weird, dude in beehive outfit coming out of the sewers, but like,
well, he had the same symbol that was on the little helicopter or plane or whatever.
Right,
it was.
but it wasn't like he was like murdering them. Like I think he just has bees in the basement and he's like a normal guy.
There's bees in the sewer system.
That's the best way to get honey, is that rich, saturated honey. I don't know.
I wasn't sure what was going on with the noise.
No, it was so weird. Everything was weird.
Oh, yeah.
There's a tree banging against the house, but it's really ominous.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a tree. I'm pretty sure it was something she was hearing like in the real world.
They attributed it to in the real world.
She was hearing it in the real world, and they like were like, oh, this must be it.
Here's what I need to do. I need to go back and rewatch
like in dreams.
Endgame. Because I don't remember what the scene is, but isn't it like just her and Vision are like eating dinner at a cafe and they get attacked by people? Isn't that what happens?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also assuming that this is like before that is what my theory is.
Oh.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I think part of this is her
after Endgame action.
Afterwards,
I think it's
like
we talked about like maybe this is a coping mechanism. Like maybe she's trying to like cope with what is happened to her love.
It's confusing because Vision goes off on his own at some points.
You probably need to scoot over. I bet Katie's half cut out.
Vision goes off on his own at some points and does things.
Right.
And
those are weird things.
Yeah, but he doesn't act like I would think Vision would act. Like,
right.
There's one point where he's scared and he jumps into bed and like covers himself with sheets. Like this is one of the most powerful Avengers that we have. Like he can go through walls and like, I don't know, eye beam or head beam stuff. I don't know what.
And they have, definitely the powers that they have in the TV show aren't like she can't just make rings appear on people's fingers normally.
No.
So there's a little bit of like how much of this is like I wasn't sure how much of it was like catering to I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched versus like is it just in her mind?
Did they use the same set as Bewitched?
They definitely
it's like definitely the same layout and everything. I was like,
which is the layout of every 50s and 60s TV
was
show.
It?
So.
Well, the second episode.
I actually thought it looked like the set from King of Queens. Pretty sure the kitchen is identical.
Really?
King of Queens. That's what it looked like to me. Cool. I thought it was super fun. I very much enjoyed like the first 10 minutes. I was like waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And then I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy this episode of I Am Lucy that features.
And then there's like random commercials that are like really ominous.
They are.
It's like this is the only color we've seen the whole episode,
and I love
it's just this dot on a toaster, but they make it really ominous.
And
so,
it's
like,
a Stark toaster.
Yeah, what is supposed to be scary about this? Because I'm a little freaked out.
Right. It was very much.
This toaster's freaking me out.
I would love to zoom in and see if there's like I bet there's like a Hydra symbol on the toaster because that's what was in the watch.
There was
you couldn't see it.
It was a Stark toaster.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
But there might have been some sort of.
I think it was very much just a knock on like 50s commercials where the husband comes home and is like, make my toast wife.
I'm looking forward to seeing these random commercial people do a commercial in each episode.
Right, and that is true
and
too.
See what happens.
Because I was like, it's the same people. This is so weird.
Yeah.
I loved the awkward chemistry of the characters. I loved the characters that they had in it. First off, I don't even know what her name is, but the mom from that 70s show. Perfect wife.
Yeah.
Her acting me up. Everything she says, it's European or whatever. Like, just so spot on.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
I also really liked the actress's hair with it like curly and around her face. I thought it looked better than just very
Sarah was like super quick on it. As soon as the second episode started, she was like, why she got pants on? Why is her hair like that? This is not the 50s that we just watched.
No,
like,
it's a different set too. I was like, it's not even the same house.
Yeah. Oh, it was interesting.
Yeah.
That was very cool stuff. All right, I think we have lunch waiting for us, so we gotta run. Yeah. Super fun talking about this.
We enjoyed spoiling it all for you.
Right, I hope you enjoyed it too. If you want to hear even more spoils, I'm sure we can guilt Kevin and Melissa and Jonah into watching the episode before our next podcast episode. So if you don't listen to our podcast, go check out tantrumhouse.com/podcast. You can join us there. We do it bi-weekly. I still don't know if it's bi-monthly or bi-weekly, but every other week we do an episode. And you should tune in and become one of our subscribers because we have this kind of like just goofy fun talk all the time. So thank you guys so much. I don't know what other context are in here. Dick Van Dyke, yep, hilarious. Told me what happened, I agreed. Yeah. Saturday morning coffee, McDonald's. Oh yeah, he was like best at Star Trek is living the life. All right, awesome. I think Kevin's gonna cut us off over there. So we'll see you guys sometime soon. Hopefully at Tantrum Con. Bye.
Bye.
You have to end in YouTube, just FYI.
I think I'm doing it.
Sweet. Thank you guys. Let me jump over the couch again.
Yeah.
Oh.